A Chinese national accused of murdering 4 at an illegal Oklahoma medical marijuana farm sentenced to life in prison, you guys. A Chinese national who admitted to fatally shooting 4 people at an illegal marijuana operation at an Oklahoma farm has been sentenced to life in prison. Chen Wu, 47, pleaded guilty to a court hearing on Friday to 4 counts of first-degree murder and to 1 count of assault and battery with a deadly weapon in connection with the November 20th, 2022 killings. The Associated Press reported cited court records. Prosecutors say Wu, also known as Wu Chen in jail records, fatally shot 3 men and a woman in a garage at the farm west of Hennessy, a town about 55 miles northwest of Oklahoma City, within minutes of him demanding they return $300,000 he had put into the grow operation. Authorities have said Wu and all the victims were Chinese citizens and that the marijuana growing operation on a 10-acre farm was operating under an illegally obtained license to grow marijuana for medical purposes. Killed in the attack were Quirong Ling, Chen He Chun, Chen He Quang, and Fang Hai Li. The court documents show a 5th person, Ye Fei Lin, was wounded. Wu was arrested in Florida 2 days after the shooting when the vehicle he was driving was flagged by a tag reader. Miami Beach police said he was later extradited to Oklahoma. As part of a plea agreement, Wu was sentenced to life in prison without parole for each of the murder counts and given a 20-year prison term for the assault charge. He will serve his sentences concurrently, and in quotes, "This case should serve as a reminder of the dangers surrounding illegal marijuana activity in Oklahoma," said Kingfisher District County Attorney Tommy Humphreys, according to the Oklahoman. Authorities later hit Yi Fei Win with a separate assault charge. That case is still pending, and a man by the name was listed in court. A man by the same name was listed in court documents as being the 25% owner of that same medical marijuana farm. The quadruple homicide investigation led to the arrest of 35-year-old Richard Ignacio, accused of being the straw or ghost owner of the medical marijuana farm, KFOR reported, and Ignacio allegedly falsely and fraudulently obtained the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority license and Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics registration necessary to manufacture marijuana by falsely claiming 75% ownership in Liu and Chen Incorporated in order to meet residency ownership requirements for licensing and manufacturing pursuant to Oklahoma law. According to the court documents in Oklahoma, the 75% owner of the marijuana business has to have lived in the state for 2 years and is required to be involved in the day-to-day management of the operation. Ignacio allegedly agreed to fraudulently putting his name on the license. Prosecutors said Ignacio subsequently turned over control of the farm to the 25% owner listed as Yi Fei Lin, a Chinese national who was not eligible to obtain an OMMA license or OBN registration on his own. He allegedly did so after being promised payments of $2,000 per month. Court documents said Ignacio admitted to lending his name to 6 different Oklahoma marijuana farms, earning him over $100,000 over the prior 2 years for doing so. In December of 2023, Ignacio and 2 others, Kevin Paul Fram and Alexander Shang Ling Chang, were indicted on 13 felony counts by the Oklahoma multi-county grand jury in connection with the Liu and Chen farm scheme, where the 4 killings unfolded roughly a year earlier, Southwest Ledger News reported. The face, either individually or collectively, charges of conspiracy, filing false or forged documents, and illegal manufacturing of marijuana, trafficking in methamphetamine, possession of a firearm after multiple prior felony convictions, financial transactions involving proceeds of fraudulent activities, and engaging in a pattern of criminal offensiveness, according to the outlet, which reported all 3 defendants appeared in Kingfisher County District Court, pled not guilty, and were released on bond. bond. Oklahoma's voters legalized medical cannabis back in 2018, and Governor Kevin Stitt later signed a bill into law in 2022 to put a 2-year moratorium on new medical marijuana grower, dispensary, and processor licenses in the state, and lawmakers had warned of limited enforcement resources and operations involving out-of-state and foreign actors exploiting in-state residency requirements, NBC News reported. Authorities have also sounded the alarm about an increase in black market operators exploiting human trafficking victims, including Chinese nationals, to grow and trim marijuana sold in legal dispensaries, according to NBC. Man, oh man, oh man. Some craziness happening out in Oklahoma. What do you guys think about all of this going on?
I just think that it supports my assertion that prohibition and FUBAR regulation are the reasons why there's cannabis adjacent violence, property loss, casualties, fatalities. And so I don't blame the plant. I blame the fact that there's been years and years of boots kicking down doors, followed by years and years of them stepping on operators' necks with burdensome taxes. And these issues are cannabis adjacent. And it's not the plant to blame, but it is the relationship that our governments, both federal, state, and local, have had in relationship to treating this just like a high value industry that doesn't have a stigma attached. And we don't have these problems in other high value industries that don't have that stigma attached. And so it's sad. It's sad because when these things happen, cannabis gets splashed into the headlines, and it's not the plant's fault, but it is the prohibition history, and it is the FUBAR regulations. And until we fix both of those, I think we're going to continue to see these things, this article, the BHO article. You know, people are just trying to be out there and do their thing, and we don't have a framework that allows people to just be entrepreneurs and business owners and medicine makers in a way that allows them to be safe and to strip these issues away from what is otherwise a noble pursuit and a really, really exciting industry.